On staff at the Clinton Police Department, code enforcement is a high priority for city officials. Tuesday night, a candidate for mayor in Clinton in the recent election addressed notices he has received on his property, and several other residents have been contacted as well. At Tuesday night's Clinton City Council meeting, Commissioner Dan Ballinger reinforced the impact on the entire community.
I don't want anybody in the city to think they're the only one that has had a note on their door or had a ticket issued. This is citywide. We're looking at everything. It's to help clean up the city because it not only affects your property, it affects everybody around you. And if you could see the work being put into it, you only really see your one potential property that you're dealing with. Tony, Ben, myself, Cameron, the girls, Steve Lobb, everybody in the city knows how many properties we're looking at. And we shouldn't have to, but we are. And we owe it to the citizens to make it as nice a town as we can. I just want to throw that in on it. It's all.
But we are working at it and we are trying the best we can. And we're trying to please the majority. I mean, that's the thing. We're trying to please them. And
We've had to tear houses down. I mean, it's not a cheap process. And that's all on the city when we end up with a house and have to tear it down and end up with a $5,000 lot. It don't work out.
Clinton Police Chief Ben Lauer says code enforcement is going to be a top priority going forward.
We've also hired a civilian position for our code enforcement officer. That gentleman's name is Rick Chrisman. Rick is, I believe, a Bloomington or Farmer City native, I believe, lived in Bloomington for several years, lives in Clinton now, was a 44-year employee, supervisor, and manager at Wallace that then became R.R. Donnelly. So very well known in the community or to the community. He knows the community well. And we're really looking forward to that, you know, with Tony Harris coming on board as the city administrator, a new mayor coming in. We've had discussions with our council and Commissioner Ballinger, you know, about some of these problem properties in town. We're really going to put a focus towards that code enforcement as
On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday following the Clinton City Council meeting Tuesday, City Administrator Tony Harris indicates this is something the city is very serious about.
We did hire someone to do that work. Rick Chrisman is the new code enforcer, and he started here a couple weeks ago. I think he's in his second week now. Larry Wooling was the previous person that took care of the code enforcement. We brought him on. Chief Lowers and I worked with him to bring him on to help out during the next couple of weeks, just for like training issues and things. So again, we talked about this a little bit. Keep your properties clean. You know, if not, you're going to get a knock on the door from Mr. Chrisman and or myself or Chief Lowers. You know, we're very serious about this. We want to do what's right and keep the properties cleaned. And we're going to be working on some ordinances just to tie some of those up as well. We're very serious about this. So we take that serious. We're going to be working on that all summer as well.
While a point of emphasis in recent years, city officials are seeking to increase the focus on code enforcement. Changes could be coming to some of Community Action's assistance programs. Brianne Titus with Community Action explains the LIHEAP program can assist in paying energy bills for low-income families. She notes they still have spots open for the program. However, it only lasts until those funds run out.
Well, you know, we like to talk about. We have LIHEAP, which we are still taking appointments for that. We have started to experience a lot of disconnects because Ameren doesn't disconnect usually during the very cold, but they have started to disconnect now. So we have been experiencing lots of disconnects. If you have not received assistance since October of 24, you most likely are eligible for assistance. So call and make an appointment. If you have received assistance but have a disconnect notice, normally you are eligible for additional funds. So you can call and make an appointment as well. If you're unsure, you can always call us at 732-2159 and we can be able to give you further information about that. But we usually try to run LIHEAP through June and July or until funds are up. And last year we were done early June because funds ran out. So don't wait to get in for LIHEAP.
Since the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, was created, government assistance programs have had funding slashed. Titus indicates while their current funds are not affected, they could be in the future.
Yeah, so we have been in communication with like our leadership team about how this is affecting us. The good thing is that when we get an allocation of grant funds, they give us an allocation for a fiscal year.
Mhm.
So we are funded through a certain period of time.
Mhm.
So right now our current grant funds are not affected.
Mhm.
Now that may change going into next fiscal year because those funds haven't been allocated yet. So if there is significant change that continues to happen in DC, there could be potential change for next LIHEAP year. So that's another reason why we're really encouraging people to get in now,
Mhm.
because we don't know what October looks like,
Mhm.
because there could be a lot of change. That also goes along with Head Start. So Head Start's in the same boat where there could be a lot of change when it comes to what they're doing in DC,
Mhm.
not only for the local school districts, but also Head Start's included in that as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
But we are allocated with funds already.
Mhm.
So we're fine for right now. We're just, the potential of being affected is going to be the next
year.
grant
Got it.
cycle.
Got it.
And that goes for any of our federal programs. So we're keeping on top of it. Our CEOs staying on top of, listening to what's going on, reading different things that come through from DC. And LIHEAP, for example, really is a state funded program. So we're good there.
If you want to learn more about LIHEAP or other programs offered by Community Action, visit capsule.info. Small changes can help you stick to your diet. Monica Nyman with the St. Louis District Dairy Council explains by this time of the year, many have slipped from their New Year's diet or exercise plans. She encourages you to get back into the rhythm and focus on how the food you eat affects your health.
Well, we like to talk about sort of change and trying new things, starting new beginnings, because of course, with the spring season, that's what's going on all around us. And so, some of you may have kind of fallen off your New Year's resolutions. We kind of go at those really hard in January, but sometimes over time, the things that we've kind of put into place kind of fall by the wayside. But spring just really gives people a really fresh start. It's like we're kind of done with the winter, done with the cold, the grass is growing, the flowers are growing. So it's just a really great time for us to kind of reevaluate and kind of rethink about your diet as well. So my first tip is really kind of to focus on foods that nourish your body. I always give the suggestion of kind of think about what does that food give to you? What kind of fuel does that food give to you? And then secondly, if you're going to make some changes, think about making some super small changes at first. And I'd like to kind of share an example of something that my husband and I have recently changed. We kind of have an issue with getting home from work and snacking because we're so hungry. And so we've decided, you know what, why don't we just eat dinner a little bit earlier instead of trying to wait till our kids get home from track practice. So we kind of are sitting in the kitchen for a long time because we like to sit with them and eat, but he and I have been eating earlier so that we're not snacking and eating all those calories before our actual meal. And then finally, there's a lot of really great seasonal fruits and vegetables out there right now, particularly like oranges and grapefruit and citrus fruits and strawberries. They're tasting really, really good at the grocery store. And so, anytime your food tastes a little bit better, it kind of makes you want to eat a little bit healthier. So really just kind of focus on some of those seasonal fruits and vegetables and start adding those to your meals.
Finding nutrient-rich foods can be easier than you might think. Nyman references the MyPlate model, which dives into what foods you should be eating and how much of them. For more information on all things St. Louis District Dairy Council, visit stldairycouncil.org. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.